And that's where we have all the confusion. You sitting up here talking all this jazz, right? With no evidence of anything, whether it be pedophilia, whether it be racism. You talking all this jazz and they got no evidence, and I got all the evidence, everything I'm saying. I told you they was pedophiles in this country. We just now got a teacher. She's caught for doing it. Just called her, locked her up September 10th. Just now, a month ago. Down in Tampa, where my son is at. My son could have been one of those kids. That part, 7. My son could have been one of those kids. He's 15 going down to school somewhere in Tampa. This woman was having sexual situations with a student. No shame, not scared of being killed. My mind is boggled how y'all sit back and act, oh, that don't mean nothing. That's why I don't mind killing you. I let God kill you. Because when I start talking like this, you ain't got nothing to say. And that part makes me want to hurt you. Well, you looking at everybody else, but you ain't looking at what they doing. The teachers are having sex with the kids. Here in America, this recently happened. This woman got locked up less than a month ago. This is a new one. This is a new pedophile woman. She got locked up. She's in jail right now. I'm glad. Huh? And this happened less than a month ago. Less than a month ago. This happened. Less than a month, guys. That means less than 5 weeks ago. This woman has been locked up for playing sexually with a child. This is what I'm showing you. It's in your culture. It's among your people. This worship of children, this infatuation with children. It's in the people. Not only have the government passed laws, it's within your community. Huh? However, much of the community does not agree with this enough for us to ask them to depart from us as leadership. This is the whole point of this. Well, part of it. Most of it. Part of it. This is information that the only information we need to ask them to resign as leadership over us. Anybody gonna object to that? What are they gonna say? Well, we still have the right. You still have the right to be over me, and you marrying children. You still have the right to tell me what to do, and you over children marrying children. You still have the right to lock me up, and you have children that you're marrying. So what does that mean? This is the information to set us free, finally, from this oppressive American government, and we didn't need one gun to do it because God did it. Does God need guns? That's a 7. God don't need no guns. See, you thought we had to shoot it out. It wouldn't have been no way we could have. It's too many military, and if the American military can't handle it, they go get another country, their allies, and come over here and shoot you. Oh, you didn't know that would happen next? If you just so happen to kill this American military by shooting it out, they will go get their allies, the UK. They'll bring soldiers from other different places in the world. You will fight it out with them. It would be no way you could beat them with guns. You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been no way. because they would have had allies that came in if you shut them down. If you just so happened to beat this military, you would have had to face at least one solid other military. At least. We didn't need that. God knew it wouldn't have been able to be done that way. When you're basically an Allen, how are we going to do that? Can't have nobody creep up and help you. You're surrounded by water on both sides. So see, now you take me seriously. Now you take me very seriously. But you still don't take me seriously enough to get my money. You know what white Americans told me about this situation? Well, this is what I picked up. Because I'm just that God has blessed me with intelligence. They told me they haven't put a value on it. Calling me a king, calling me a president, all this stuff. You haven't put a value on this. You say this, but what of value have you brought my way to place value on me? Nothing. What? People walking around talking? Ignorant people love doing that. White, black, and anything in between. Americans love a show. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing to a grown man. I don't care what you talk about. You can say king, queen, princess, prince, all of it. You can say all of it. You can say I'm all those things. Queen, princess, prince. What else is there? Knight. If you don't put no value on it, it's foolishness. It's now come the time for you to put value on what you're saying out your mouth. If you don't put value on it and you just walking around saying it, we do not accept that. I consider you an enemy because you are continuing fame on my name without money. You know what fame does without money? You know what fame does without money? Has all this going on and I have nowhere to retreat to. I have nowhere to find refuge because of you. Walking around calling me this, calling me that, and not putting value on it so I can retreat and preserve what you're talking about. I told you, and I made videos on this. America does not know how to raise up a king. You don't know how to do it. What you need to first understand is a king is born a king. You're born with the goods. You don't make a king. You make a president. You make good politicians. You make soldiers. That's what I'd rather say. You make soldiers. You don't make kings. You can't make a king. You understand? A person is born a king. It's almost like they're in prophecy. That's why a lot of people will say, certain individuals, prophets, leaders, prophets prophesied that they would come or that this person would come. Leaders, people like me, we're part of what was always going to be. I was always going to be here. And that's where you messed up. That's where you lost. What you don't understand is a king is born a king. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what you tried to do is send me through those white dumb hoops and those ghetto hoops, both, and your military hoops and your police hoops and everything in between hoops. You try to send me through all those hoops, and a king is born with it all. All you needed to do, and now you understand why I moved the way I moved. All you needed to do was support it, strengthen it, nourish it, and cultivate it. That's all you had to do. You know what a pavilion is? You know what a pavilion is? A pavilion is a place where kings hide in the times of war. It's a place within I think within castles, but it probably could be outside of castles, because they probably in some cases bomb or castles to the point where the whole thing falls. However, it's safe to say this much. A pavilion is, by definition, a place where kings are positioned in a time of war so that they will be preserved. So let's go to my situation. How you got me out on Front Street, literally, in the middle of a war, talking about king. You put the king in a pavilion away from the community, but you feel like I got something to prove to them. What I got to prove to them? I ain't got a thing to prove to them. They got something to prove to me. Why they sit up here ignorant of 44 states with child marriage. You got child marriage from your government. You got something to prove to me why dumb you were. Why you was that dumb. Completely oblivious. Now imagine you trying to act like I got something to prove to you. It's just as dumb as a stupid thug that's playing with an OG. You think because you young and fresh out there, you on top of the world. And I'm an OG per se. That can get you smashed for free. Get you killed for free. Because at the same time, nobody feels like half of y'all doing anything. Then you got some man that comes out and you express your ignorance. That's all you doing. By the way, is expressing your ignorance. When you try to pull up and try to see who I am, you already expressing ignorance to me. Do I look like a famous person to you? Sure. You already expressing ignorance. Soon as you come here thinking you looking for me, you already express ignorance to me. And this is how many people feel. So who you think gonna die? I can't help what other people do. They feel like you the problem. And I ain't got nothing to do with that. See what you gotta realize for black people, you gotta be approachable. If you think you're gonna make it to the future in America or anywhere in the world, African Americans, you have to be approachable on your real issues. You can't be talking about race this, race card this. No, you've been using that and hiding behind that. And we talking about real issues. Ain't nobody talking about your skin color. Everybody ain't talking about that. Everybody ain't worried about it. Everybody's not infatuated with it. I'm just being 100. That being said, man, you know what I'm saying? You got to get that chip off your shoulder. You got to get that complex, man. Like, it's a complex to me. You think everybody's racist. That challenges you. Like, nah, man. Nah, not this time. It's just too much stuff going on, too much craziness. And if you want to be 100, who doing the most killing? Who doing the most killing? Who's doing the most killing? The government? You see what situation you in? It's not the Asians. The Asians ain't doing the most killing. The white people ain't. The Mexicans, Latinos not. It's you. And you know what that means? You're your own worst enemy right now. That's what it means. You're your own worst enemy, and all you're waiting for is a crazy Republican that wants to put you isolate you from the rest of the country. That's all you waiting for. To get a Republican crazy enough, more crazy than Donald Trump, because he's going to provoke something like that. The next Republican get in there, either way it go, they're going to be just as crazy as him. That's a 7. Why? Mark my words. Whatever Republican gets in office that has all these Trump supporters, they're going to go with whoever that is. Some of them are. And they're going to be just as crazy as him. And they're going to start looking at you as the problem. So it's beyond talking about it as stop the violence. Now you're becoming an island as an island problem. And I'm not trying to target you. I'm here in this country talking about the issues. You see what I'm saying? And if you're doing all the killing, even if it was Asian people or white people, if they were doing this, I would be saying the same thing. And I'm pretty sure you know my personality to know I'd be doing that. I'm not targeting you. And that's what I'm saying. You're so blinded by racism. Some people shell shocked, and that's no disrespect. But come on, we supposed to address no issues because of racism. We don't supposed to talk about none of this. That's what I'm saying. And then so how can we move forward? And that's what you don't want to accept. Because at the end of the day, we can rap, we can smoke, we can drink, we can have cookouts, but we shouldn't be killing each other. We shouldn't be, man. We can dance, we can have fun, but at the end of the day, nobody should be really, really with that. That's real. Nobody should be really, really with that. Okay, you get people up off you. Granted, right? You get people up off you and everything, like the next man. But come on now. You know the difference. And so you should be ready. You also should be ready for a new government. Because the real reason you got this going on is because it's business for them. They could have been locked you up and threw away the key. Prisoners is business. Look how many people eat off one crime. Parole officer. Lawyers. Look at that part already. This is one crime. Oh, you don't think so? You got parole officer, probation officers eating off one crime. Lawyers, judges, wardens, cafeteria workers at the prison, all the employees that do the paperwork at the prisons. You are supplying jobs. You supplying jobs with one crime. So you don't think nobody looking at it like a hustle? That's a 7. You don't think nobody is looking at that in this American country as a hustle? That's a hustle, man. That's why people like me are threats against that hustle and from keeping you and stopping you from being incarcerated. People like me stop that. Well, your presidents can't stop it because they're not built to address it. They're not built to address those issues. It's not their position. See, you've been expecting your president to change America. That's why you believed in Donald Trump. No president can change this. You got to come out of that. You got to come out, specifically in America. You have to come out of America in order to change it. You cannot be no president changing it. I just don't believe, not with the present government. Not with the present government, no. You cannot, because they got 44 states with child marriage. You could come in trying to change that, maybe, but it's just too much. It's too much racism. It's too many different laws. You can't change America through being a president. No, you cannot. You can change America through being a revolutionary like me. That's what I am. I'm not meant to be a president. See, Martin Luther King Jr., was he a president? Was he a president? Was Martin Luther King Jr. a president? Was Malcolm X a president? Malcolm X was not a president, right? Okay then. That was not their position. They were not meant to be a president. They were not meant to be presidents. See, that's why you don't understand when you have leaders like me what we are. I'm not your president. I'm a revolutionary. I come to change things. I'm designed to do that. I'm designed to do it. So that's why you like all this little moving around stuff. Don't flatter yourself. You can't trigger me. You ain't heard nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You almost dead. And it ain't too many times I'm going to extend the olive branch. Ain't too many times I'm going to extend the olive branch offering you a situation. Because I got you. I got you at 44 states married children. I don't care nothing about how you trot around and walk around. You can walk all through the hallways of this building. Outside, you still under 44 states with child marriage, suckers. Okay? What you gonna do about that? Not a thing. And you ain't been doing nothing about it. So realize what you're playing with. As opposed to what you thought you was playing with. You got Russia with 44 states. America with 44 states of child marriage. Russia does not have any child marriage. China does not have any child marriage either. You see what situation you in? It's starting to look like you're the problem. You playing with me. You got 44 states with child marriage. Black people, you can't say preserve them because they killing each other. How you gonna change that? No matter what laws you get, how are you gonna change black on black crime? Huh? Anybody gonna change that? Anybody think they can change it? When these 19-year-olds are crazy as a warthog, wild as a warthog, running wild as a warthog, how are you gonna change that? I ain't talking about you and me. We old. We OGs. We old. We do it, but we do it a certain way. These kids out here, 19 and younger, how you gonna change that mentality? Half of y'all don't know what it's like. Man, them 19-year-olds in Chicago, we ain't talking about New York no more. New York ain't got nothing as far as violence on Chicago. You ain't got nothing on that. The whole mentality, the killing, the blood, all that shit, bloodshed, you got nothing on that. You come on, man, come on. They just said you was the safest city, the fourth safest city, what, about 5 years ago? You're getting in the safest city brackets now these days. You a shell of what you used to be. While we're talking about shells of what things used to be. You a shell of what you used to be, New York. Chicago is what's dangerous. All that stuff you doing out there, you would be dead there. That's why, see, I don't know, man. I have a national mentality. My mentality is not New York. My mentality is not necessarily any particular place. It's a good blend. It's a good blend. Me and you, I don't care how violent you are. I don't care. It's the whole mentality. And if you don't have a certain mentality, okay, you have all kind of collisions. See, here's the problem. When a city is fake and you got rats, real rats, all across your country, all across your city that you ain't really checked. I'm talking about people that really ratted on people and put people in jail. When you don't handle that in a city, you just devalue yourself as a city. Okay? You know the rats I'm talking about. You know these rats I'm talking about. And look, My thing is this, man. I'm technical with it. If a snitch to me is someone that's hustling with other people, and then you decide to change, you making money just like the rest of us. You not no upstanding citizen. I ain't talking about upstanding citizens. I'm talking about people that got into the game hustling, drug selling. I'm talking about that. Not people that's not involved. That's not snitching to me. That is not snitching. They're upstanding citizens. What do you expect them to do? Oh, stick by your codes? They don't even be around you. How do they know what the codes are? That part. They're in a whole different world than you. I'm talking about when people get involved with crimes. Not even people calling the police because you acting crazy. Nah, that ain't no snitch. That could be an upstanding citizen. Either way it go, that's a person that's not involved with you. A snitch is a person that's involved with you selling drugs, by definition, from my definition, and you decide to turn your back on everybody. That's why death comes for doing that. Because you was with us getting money and everything, and then you switched up. That's why snitching brings about death, real snitching. Other stuff, it don't even bring about no death. Because it's not snitching. But in your city, New York, you got a problem with snitches. People that don't send people to jail. You know who they are. I ain't going to name their name because you're going to think I'm picking on people. I ain't going to do that. You think about it. You know New York, you think about the snitches. You think about it. So you're not as tough as you claim to be anymore. I'm not buying that when you got snitches. You go to Chicago, you know why some people would consider it better? Because the respect level is better. If you got a sucker city, then everybody play games. It's all for all games. You can't do that in Chicago. They would kill all these people. And they don't care if they're right or wrong. It just feels better. Well, I felt like they was enemies, so I killed them. Because suckers think, oh, well, they don't know what we're doing. Some people don't care. How about that part? You forgot about that. That people don't care. They just kill you, whether they right or wrong. What about that part? See, that's the sucker in you. You hiding behind the fact that we don't really know. Take that to Chicago, where they probably kill you, whether it's right or wrong. Whether they're right or wrong, you gone. You was out there, you're gone. And you know what? I'm not saying I agree with that. But the mentality is more respectful because there's no room to play games. So it feels, if you're a respectful person, you can go outside and you don't get gang stalked and all of that. You don't go through that. That's in soft cities. You take that to a cutthroat city. They lighten that up, man. They don't care. They got to get out of here. We don't care what those bozos doing. They got to get out of here. One way or the other. See, that's a cutthroat city. The respect level is better. It's not going to be nobody trying you. You go into the store and somebody trying you on what you listening to on in arguments with Russia. when you're in a big city like Chicago, ain't nobody even asking you what you listening to on your phone. They don't know you. Why you even talking to me? Because you a friendly New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? You talking to me, I don't know you. You go to Chicago, man, you don't have room. You go to these other LA, you don't got no room. You don't got no room for that, man. I know that. I don't have to live there to know that. I seen enough from the news, from people that I respect as street dudes. You ain't got no room for that. And I done lived in Los Angeles, and you ain't got no room for it there. You can't do that there. You can't do it there. Try it. Try it among people to see for who you are. They running that up out the hood, bro. That ain't gonna last a day. It may, but it ain't gonna last long. See, you only getting by, you little dummies and gang stalkers. I'm talking about them. The Illuminati, Freemasons, gang stalkers of all types of different organizations. You're only getting by because you ain't in no cutthroat city. Now, I have literally passed through Chicago. And how you know? Because I know the two stadiums are side by side. It's beautiful. You got the White Sox and the Cubs, the Charlotte Cubs, side by side. They side by side. That's how you know somebody been to Chicago. Ask them about the baseball stadiums. Are they side by side? They're side by side. See, you ain't never even set foot. See, a traveler will understand the significance of traveling through a city like that, where you ain't just get there in 5 minutes. That means everybody with that kind of mentality is going to be around you in a minute. That part. Whether you traveling through or not, you still can get killed. So you don't understand even the significance in that. Really, no, you don't. And from all the things I've seen, man, I'm pretty sure everything I'm saying is valid. You ain't gonna be playing all them gang stalking games in no city like Chicago. You ain't gonna be playing none of that bull game, all them little games that you doing, all that little politicking. It's too dangerous to do that. The only reason these people flared up with these whack politics, the only reason they flared up because it ain't no cutthroats. Cutthroats are like spiders. No one likes spiders, but to get rid of the roaches, to get rid of the bugs, the cutthroats gets rid of these gang stalkers, these people. I'm not saying that's the method, but if we were in a cutthroat city,